Hi there, meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today once again at westernpacificweather.com. I do want to apologize today though for our little hiatus we have had here for about the last 4 or 5 days. If you follow these videos on YouTube, we have took a quick break, but we still are putting out text updates at westernpacificweather.com. So always remember you can go there if you follow this channel at YouTube. But today out here across the Western Pacific, we do have several areas that we continue to watch. First, we have this area of low pressure approaching Hong Kong today. This is increasing the precipitation values out there, and we're going to look closer at the Hong Kong radar here in just a second, but also looking at some heavy snowfall out here across western Hokkaido and northwest Honshu. That's what's being indicated right in here, and that's that ocean effect snow we've been talking about, that cold air coming off of Siberia running over the Tsushima current located in the Sea of Japan here and dropping that very high amount of snowfall out here. Some of the highest places in Earth are actually located around here. But outside of that though, we do have an area of low pressure running out here towards Korea and not else much going on across the Western Pacific. In just a second, we're also going to look out here towards Southeast Asia, but for right now, we're going to look at this radar imagery out of Hong Kong. And this is coming from the Hong Kong Observatory, just showing these very high amount of rainfall moving onshore and actually expecting over 100 millimeters of rain here in the next 24 hours. And actually in the past 24 hours, Hong Kong has been reporting over about 800 millimeters of rainfall. So really some very heavy and intense rain locally around Hong Kong Island here, and also the suburban areas all around there. So expect those, and also expect some gusty winds out there as well. But for the time being, no severe warnings have been put in place. The HKO has come out and said that the heavy amount of rainfall is going to occur all throughout the day today and into tomorrow as that low moves across the region and then drifts off here towards the north as it starts to get wrapped up in the westerlies. So really kind of a subtropical low right now, and definitely going to hit the jet stream off here towards the north and really get pushed off here towards Japan here in the long run as well. We'll take a look at that in a second as well, but we also do have the continuous monsoonal trough drifting out here across Southeast Asia, Malaysia, out over towards Borneo and Mindanao here, seeing parts of that as well. If we go back to the satellite imagery, you can see in these areas indicated in red and white, you do have that monsoonal trough in about a similar location here. Coming out here across Borneo, you actually have two kind of setting up here, one to the north and one towards the south. Well, this is just the intertropical convergence zone continuing to push south with the rotation of the Earth and the changing of the seasons here. So going to see less rainfall overall and climatically occurring out here in northern Thailand and more down here towards Indonesia and the southern portions of Borneo as well. So just continuing to watch these here. This is also where cyclones will tend to start to form up here, is along this monsoonal trough. And if we push farther off towards the east here at the satellite imagery, you can see this monsoonal trough continued out here across Indonesia, out towards New Guinea, and then out towards the Solomon Islands, where we actually had an area of convection here that we've been continuing watching here just northwest of Fiji, and that's indicated here in the circle. And actually, as I said, it's kind of a cyclonic circulation, but none of the models really picking up on this region. It's still about just north of 10 degrees south here, so not too much Coriolis associated with it, but also the sea surface temperature still continuing to warm up in this region. And lastly, there is a little bit of wind shear down here towards the south, and actually it's kind of indicated here on the satellite imagery. You can see some of these clouds drifting down towards the southeast, and then you have these lower clouds indicated in blue moving off towards the northwest. Well, that's that wind shear and that change in winds throughout the atmosphere. But anyways, back to the north here. I do apologize for kind of flopping all over the place here, but looking at the forecast using the GFS model here, this is the 12Z, or excuse me, the 0Z run from this morning here on the 17th. You do see that area of low pressure moving off here across Hong Kong and then out towards Taiwan, where you're seeing an abundant amount of rainfall as well. Actually, Taipei reporting upwards of 100 millimeters in the last 24 hours, and some areas towards the south for over 200 millimeters. So here in the forecast, though, we continue to see that low track off towards the northeast, and then by Friday and into this weekend, specifically Saturday, it's going to bring in a heavy amount of rainfall here across all of Japan and portions of South Korea as well. And you just see that low track off across the country here. It gets wrapped up in the westerlies, and specifically the Kanto plain here. Whenever you see an area of low pressure come here from the south vice the north, you're going to see heavier rainfall on the Kanto plain, and that's due to the orographic lifting out here across the Alps usually rain out most, and you kind of get a rain shadow here on the eastern portions of that. But here, coming in from the south as well, you're going to be seeing heavier rainfall amounts. So just continue to watch that. Really going to be one long weekend out here. The precipitation's not going to be short bursts of convection, but more or less those long scattered rain showers throughout the day. And then as that low continues to run off here, you start to see the areas in here indicated in green. Well, that's that high pressure ridging you back in, bringing that cold wind out of the north, and once again, heavy ocean effect snow out here across Hokkaido and northwestern Honshu here as well. So as already indicated earlier in the update, one of the regions here on Earth that you do have some of the heaviest snowfall amounts. But looking out here towards the south, though, you continue to see that monsoonal trough here. It is lingering south of Thailand, so continuing to see clear skies there as well. Really good news out in that portion, but you're starting to see rain showers set in more so out here across Malaysia and portions of Indonesia as indicated here. And if we just scroll through this one more time, you see those areas in green, but by this weekend they start to pick up a little more, so got another surge of convection running through there, so just continuing to watch that as well. But as far as the tropics, really quiet out here, specifically in late November, early December is when you start to see no tropics really forming up worldwide here. But then by the time we get into January, we start to see cyclone season picking up more so out here across northern portions of Australia. Doesn't mean any tropical formation is possible out here, just not as likely as you would say in portions of September and then into January and February. So for the time being, though, continue to check back in here at westernpacificweather.com if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions. As always, please post them in the comment box below. And also, one more thing is I'm going to be putting a new website out here in the near future. Basically, it's going to be more geared towards local forecasts out here in the Western Pacific, so stay tuned for that and stay tuned for newer updates. And have a great day, everybody. Bye.